This girl had an important game today, but the night's hangover apparently made her forget it. After swallowing 2 green pills in a hurry, she rushed to the game barefoot. Her name was Beth. She was a professional chess player. In the flash of the camera, Beth soon calmed down. Her opponent today was the first-rank Mr. Borgov. Facing a strong player, Beth fell into the past. Time went back to when Beth was caught in a car accident. Her mother died in the accident. Her father had already abandoned them. Beth became an orphan. To take care of Beth, the government sent her to the nearby orphanage. They said it was an orphanage, but it was more like a boarding school. The children here were all classmates, studying together, living together. But in the end, the only thing they waited for was being adopted. Every day, the children were given 2 pills. Jolene, the black girl in front of Beth, told her they all saved the green pill for the night. Beth didn't know why. It was her turn to take pills. There were 2 pills in the cup, 1 green and 1 brown. Beth swallowed both of the pills. Suddenly, everything became so vivid. All the sounds around became clear. The sound of mopping the floor, the sound of the key collision, everything poured into her ears. That day, Beth finished the exam quickly. The teacher sent her to the basement to clean the eraser. Here, Beth met the school worker, Mr. Scheibel. There was a black and white chessboard in front of him. All kinds of chessmen moved around on the chessboard. Beth was quickly attracted by the object. When she went to bed at night, she took the hidden green pill. The chessboard that she saw in the daytime appeared on the ceiling. One day, there was another child adopted. In fact, the amount that got adopted was minor. Most girls spent their whole lives in the orphanage. Jolene didn't want to be adopted. She was black and besides, she was too old to be adopted. But Beth didn't care. She wanted to learn how to play chess. But Mr. Scheibel said, chess isn't for girls. He refused to teach her. Beth told the way of each piece. It turned out that she had studied it out just by observation these days. Knowing Beth was a natural, Mr. Scheibel offered her a game. But only with 4 steps, Beth lost. At night, Beth swallowed the green pill she had been fishing for several days. Something amazing happened. Once she took the green pill, a simulated chessboard would appear on the ceiling. It was Beth's stunt. The lost game with Mr. Scheibel appeared on the ceiling. Beth controlled the movement of the pieces with her mind. She found a way to restrain herself. The next day, Beth immediately went to play chess with Mr. Scheibel. Though she had improved, after a few rounds, Beth was still down. When she was about to lose, you can bring down your own queen and admit defeat. This is a commonly known spirit of chess. It was a decent thing to do, but self-esteem made it hard for Beth to admit defeat. In a hurry, she said a dirty word to Mr. Scheibel. Of course, Beth didn't know what that meant. When she asked Jolene, Jolene explained to her. But that bad word had hurt Mr. Scheibel. Since then, the basement had been closed to Beth. No opponents, Beth could only play chess on the ceiling. One day, she came to the basement again. She didn't expect that the door could be open. It turned out that Mr. Scheibel was also craving to play with her. The chessboard was set in front of him. The 2 of them played chess without a word said. After a fierce round, Beth won. This was just her 3rd game with Mr. Scheibel. Mr. Scheibel began to teach Beth some opening moves. For example, Sicilian defense, Leuenfischer transformation. If she just all day played chess, she couldn't go to school. So they only played chess in Beth's leisure time. In the evening, they would resume their own business. Day by day, Beth's chess skills were getting better and better. One day, a new formula had been set up in Mr. Scheibel's teaching. It was called the rear wing deserter. This kind of approach was to abandon the weak pawn soldiers at the beginning, making way for the queen in the rear. It was a very radical way to play. Mr. Scheibel gave Beth a book, Modern Chess Opening Training. After that, the book became Beth's companion. Her chess skills were also improving rapidly. Mr. Scheibel didn't want to bury Beth's talent. He invited Mr. Gans from the nearby high school chess association to play with her. Not only Beth could easily beat Mr. Gans, but she could also play chess with 2 people at the same time. She could even win in the form of blind chess. Mr. Gans was shocked by Beth's talent. He offered her to play chess in the association and took photos of both of them. The next day, Mr. Gans found the director of the orphanage and told her about taking Beth to play chess. They would go on Thursday afternoon. The director knew that Beth often played chess in the basement, but there was a thing she needed to know. Because of state laws, the school would no longer offer green pills. There were no green pills. Beth couldn't imagine a chessboard. After a long time like that, Beth also had a withdrawal reaction. She was getting irritable. It was time for the first game. Before leaving, Jolene secretly gave Beth 2 green pills. This 9-year-old girl was going to challenge 12 high school students. You didn't get it wrong. It was not one after another. It was a 1 on 12 roulette. After Beth took one step on each chessboard, the match officially began. Facing so many opponents, Beth was not nervous at all. She moved around like a butterfly. She won her opponents in only 80 minutes. Though she won, she didn't have any more green pills. One day, while everyone was watching a movie, Beth sneaked out, locking the pharmacy door, taking the green pills in the drawer. That was not enough. Beth had 2 of her pockets full. Just as she was about to leave, she looked at the medicine jar and decided to take it all away. When she turned around, she saw the director. After that, Jolene told Beth what she was like. The adults were scared of her. Fortunately, Beth didn't have a big deal. From then on, the school restricted Beth from playing chess. She was also forbidden to contact Mr. Scheibel. All Beth could do was look at the chess score. Soon, 6 years passed. Beth was a big girl now, but she hadn't been adopted yet. A couple came to the orphanage. The woman took a liking to her at the first sight. After a brief talk with the director, the couple adopted Beth. When packing at night, Beth couldn't find the chess book. Because she was adopted, she apologized to Jolene. But it didn't matter what she said, Jolene turned around and felt herself cracked on the inside. The next morning, Beth left the place where she had lived for 6 years. She also left her first chess teacher, Mr. Scheibel.